You are listening to He Said, She Said, with L.A. Rob, and D the VIP. Oh, yeah. And we are back. How about Halloween?
This is our Halloween edition.
I know.
What? Rad rom. We do our own sound effects. That's so corny.
It's that time of year. It's my favorite time if you live in Hollywood.
Oh, if you live, yeah, definitely, because I'm from Michigan. And I had my first Halloween out here. I had no idea that people went to the lengths that they go through here for Halloween.
Oh.
Like, the children don't have the little plastic costumes like, we do in Michigan that you put over your clothes and it says Superman. No, they have cloth.
They take it seriously over here.
Yeah, like the cloth Superman costume with the built-in muscles, and this is serious Halloween time.
We take our Halloween serious. Like the people who make the movies and do the special effects and do the practical stuff are the same people who like to show off what they can do in Halloween.
Yes, they do, and I love it.
Oh, I love every bit of it.
In honor of Halloween, we decided to showcase, or acknowledge our top 5.
Yes. Our top 5
Halloween scary movie picks.
And it may be an honorable mention.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah.
Or 4. Yeah.
So, so let's kick it off. Ladies first.
Ladies first.
What's your, what, before we get to number 1, we'll just do a countdown?
Yeah, okay, mine is in no particular order, I don't think. I'm just, if it's going to be, it was scary, it scared me shitless, that kind of order, but really no particular order. So number 1 on the list is a movie that came out, I think, sometime in the 80s called Salem's Lot.
Ooh, okay.
For some reason, I saw this picture when I was a kid, and it disturbed me because this is the first time that I saw a film where a child was dead. And not only was he dead, he was a ghost. And he was knocking on the window, and he did this tap like this.
Yeah.
And then this other kid went to the window, and he saw him. And he was floating up in the air outside the window. And he's tapping like this, telling him to open the door and let him in, because he's a vampire now at that point. Scared the shit out of me. A kid should not see that. I was so good for about a good, I don't know how many weeks after seeing that. Scared me.
Wow.
Salem's Lot.
Okay, I gotta see that because I haven't seen that. What what year that came out?
I don't know what year, but it's sometime in the 80s.
Okay, all right. I need to get that in my life. Mine's is kind of cheesy, at least by now, but back in the day it was the shit. I gotta say I go with Scream, the first one.
Oh hell no, Scream!
That was the shit. Look, that was the reason for caller ID. After that movie, everybody had caller ID.
Oh my god, that movie is so.
I wanted that fucking voice coder so fucking bad, just so I could pull off, prank calls, all that. The motherfucker was like. He's like, do you like scary movies? And then like he would freak you out and ask you like trivia, and and it just got so real. Like the first opening moment of Scream where he calls he calls up the victim, and it starts off really like, oh, okay, yeah, so you want to play a game? It was like, sure, whatever. And so it's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek commentary with that doesn't devolve into being funny. Like it knows how to ride the line between being comedic and being serious. And so then like the part where it's like, oh, okay, I just want to see what does it say? He said like, I want to see what you're wearing.
Oh my god.
And then he's like,
this is so cheesy. I mean, seriously?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, let's get to my number two. Let's get to that. How about that?
Oh, you're gonna do
Well, I mean, Scream, I didn't know whether to laugh or I definitely was not scared. The mask didn't do it for me with the melting face. I don't know.
Ghostface?
That didn't do anything for me.
It got bad. It's like, okay, after part 2, part 3, part 4, I think they're 4 now?
I don't know.
Anyways, they got cheesy, but the first one, the original Scream, and you gotta say the part 2 with Jada Pinkett cameo in there. Brilliant.
So, let's get to mine. And it's dun 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 dun. I probably am not doing that right, but it's Jaws. And I never for the life of me could figure out why we didn't see Jaws until the end. I thought it was strictly because that was how the movie was done, when in actuality they couldn't get the machine to work. I just found that out about a couple of months ago when they reintroduced the remastered version of Jaws. Anyway, that scared me shitless. Something about floating bodies that are half eaten, you going for a swim and going up under the water and not being seen again. Maybe I think I have a problem with kids getting killed, because in Jaws, I'm just remembering the little boy got killed first at the beach.
And I love with Jaws, like most movies, was like, the horror takes place at night. This shit happened in broad daylight.
Yeah, and with a bunch of people around.
Yeah.
So Jaws, that soundtrack was awesome, and I think that scared you more than anything else. But I do have on my list another movie whose soundtrack I think scared you too. But why don't we go to your next movie?
All right, so my next one is Trick or Treat by Kevin Ransom. Did you see that one?
No.
Okay,
no.
It was kind of a it was kind of a direct to it was a video on demand, and what it was about, it was like, okay, it's Trick or Treat, it's Halloween, and there's this kid who's wearing a costume. Well, the thing is, this kid is really a monster, and like what he would do is like he would knock on the door, and if you gave him some candy or whatever, he'd go away. So then he inevitably runs into this guy who's like this neighborhood asshole, and he doesn't give him any candy. So he slams the door in his face and then knock, 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 knock.
Oh, wow.
He's knocking on the door again, like waiting for some candy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he slams the door. Knock, 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 knock. There's nobody there. And he's looking around like, what's going on? And then like he turns around and the kid is in the house wanting to give him some candy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it is so good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it gets so creepy, like...
Ugh.
Yeah, so, no, Trick or Treat, that movie was so freaking good. And on top of that,
I've never heard of that.
Oh, no, that's a good one. That was a video on demand, and that one is I believe that one was indie, and it was actually shot, I think, in 2004 or something like that, and the director had such a hard time getting it made. It eventually came out in 2000. It was finished in 2007, and it didn't really get a wide release until 2009.
Wow.
But
Okay.
Kevin Ransom, you should get that in your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my next movie, I kind of did a pre-introduction when I was talking about Jaws, but it also used the soundtrack to really scare you, and that was freaking Friday the 13th, the first one.
Oh, damn.
That scared me shitless. Something about the and then you would think that somebody's gonna get killed because you hear that music. If you and then you hear that, so you're anticipating somebody getting killed, and they wouldn't. And then so you hear the music again, and you're like, nobody's gonna get killed, and they would. So it played mind tricks on you. But that movie was the first one. Now the 6th, 7th, 8th, I don't think they made quite that many. Right. But all the other ones, not so much. But that first one, it got me.
Yeah, Jason is the ultimate mama's boy. You gotta love Jason.
Well, looking like that, he had the face that only a mother would love, so
Definitely.
he has to be.
Yeah. Mine's is an anthology. It's sort of an anthology called Creep Show.
Oh my God.
Yes, Creep Show. Yes,
No.
Creep Show. Creep Show is the
God.
most.
Beat me now. Beat me, please.
Oh God, the Creep Show was so freaking good. It had my boy Liam Nielsen. I mean, it had these different segments. Like it had the dude who touched the radioactive meteor and became a plant, and then my favorite one was Liam Nielsen. He did the Naked Gun, and he's kind of played these comedy roles. Well, in this one, he played this sadistic asshole who got his kicks off by burying people up to their necks, and the tide would come in.
Oh, wow.
And he would videotape them as the tide would come in.
Drown them.
He would drown them, right? So you go back and get the tape or whatever and watch it, and well, this time he buried these two people. He did it to these two people, and while he is at home, their spirits come and haunt him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the ghosts take him and bury him up to his neck. And the last thing he's saying is, "I can hold my breath for a long time," just as the tide comes in.
Oh, wow.
Payback
is a mother.
Yeah, because I like that because it was so well written, and each of them were directed by different directors, so each of the stories have a different vibe and feel to them. Okay. But I really, on that one, I really appreciated being scared and sort of the art that goes into making a movie. So, Creep Show is my number 3.
Well, I'm not as highbrow when it comes to my scary movies. So, you're
that's highbrow?
Probably is. Well, you said the effort that goes into making it and blah blah.
Well, I'm a director, so
just, yeah, see, that's
I'm a film nerd.
I'm like, yeah. Okay, so my number 4. You're gonna start to see a theme right now between 4 and 5.
Okay.
My number 4.
You're going up and I'm going down.
Okay, my number 4 was billed as a true story, and it starts like that. This is a true story. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That scared me shitless because it starts off where you read this article.
You talking about the original one?
The original.
I haven't seen the original one.
It starts off where you read this article, and it basically is saying that these people were killed in Texas. And
that really happened.
Blah, blah.
Loosely, but that did happen.
Loosely, they had a guy who was in Texas who was doing something like that, but not to that degree.
Right.
But anyway, that scared me. You have the leather face with he's sewn together people's skin and created a mask and all that would scare me shitless. So he's going down, I'm going up. My number 4 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Did you see any of the remakes and the?
I did. I saw
did you like them?
Not as much as the original.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed them all.
Yeah.
But the original scared me shitless.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it has sort of a gritty look to it.
Yeah, it was very gritty, very. I don't know what was happening during that time.
It looked like it was like a documentary.
Yeah, but see that it looked like somebody. Like, that was one of the movies where there's a camera hidden somewhere that somebody didn't know about kind of thing. Not that there's actually somebody filming. So, that scared me. Shitless. Because it was so plausible. Like, how, you could be driving out in the middle of the desert, your car break down, you go to a house that you think is safe, and then there's a weirdo there, or crazy people. That could happen anywhere,
right? At
any time. So I think that element scared me the most.
I would have to say my number 2 following the same theme as a guy with a chainsaw, I would have to go with Halloween with my boy Mike Myers. Michael Myers, the guy who wore the pasty white William Shatner mask, that scared the hell out of me as a little kid. Because this is the thing about Michael Myers that really freaked me out. He's crazy. He's a psychopath. And you could walk in the house and he would be standing somewhere completely still with a butcher knife and not saying anything. His face.
He was really scared right now. So
no. Because what got me was like, what made it effective with the scares is like, this started the whole, oh my God, don't go in there, or he's right behind you, you know. Because the thing is like, it's like you would have these characters that you really cared about, and then the killer would be walking slowly, creeping up behind them. You know he's gonna kill them, and you can't help them. But you know it's coming,
right? Because
it's a horror movie, and that really showed me like, you could be quiet, you know, there's the anticipation, and it was just so freaky. I remember he was like, a kid wearing a sheet? That he made that look so scary. And that was so well done, and you got the whole theme. The theme was brilliant. His whole, you know, I can't do it justice, but it was
his music.
Yeah, because John Carpenter, he did that. And what I know about the movie is that was the first movie to use, or one of the first movies to use the glide cam, and it was also shot in sort of a wide angle, because it was a shot in scope with the high aspect ratio, so that way you could see the entire house. You could see you could see everything. It was the way the shots were composed, and the way the cinematographer did the composing and everything was really brilliant. And you know, that movie is so simple. It takes place in the suburbs, Halloween. You got this guy, and you don't know you don't really see his face. You don't know if he is possessed by the devil. Is he crazy? It's kind of left in the air, but you know he's just an unstoppable killing machine.
Well, so yeah, I think he's in an insane asylum, so I think they kind of said that he was crazy. But as the films went on,
he was getting killed. He got killed in so many ridiculous ways.
That's when he got
and just kept coming back. Was like, oh, he's not human. He is
not.
He is superhuman.
Right. So that's when it got a little strange.
Yes.
But my number 5 is in keeping with that whole reality. This really happened, but here's a film about it. My number 5 is The Hills Have Eyes. Why?
Did that really happen?
Because I don't know if that really happened, but in the beginning of the movie, they said it really happened.
Oh, okay.
And I think I researched it, and it said it was fiction.
Okay.
But they set it up well, because they start the beginning by saying this happened, and this is based on a true story. And there's some teenagers who of course the bus breaks down and they're out in the desert, and you know, it's a crazy family who's been living out there, and so they have problems. So I think for me, when stuff can really be plausible, like I can see myself driving in a car, maybe on my way to Vegas, the car breaks down, and I can't get a signal on the cell phone, so I'm walking to try to get help, and all of a sudden I'm accosted by this crazy family that's been living out in the woods. For some reason, that seems to make sense to me. Seems like it could happen. So that scared me shitless.
The whole isolation just kind of began just away from society.
It can really happen.
Yeah.
You know, when you have stuff that can really happen,
right?
That's a lot. That's a scarier. Like with Jaws. it can really happen.
You
Like
get
you're
killed by a
swimming.
shark.
Yeah, you're swimming. You're not, you're having a good time. Everything's gorgeous, beautiful day. And then all of a sudden, you go up underwater and you never come back up, kind of thing. So I think the element of this could possibly happen scares me.
Wow.
Even with Friday the 13th, you're a group of kids, you're out at camp, and there's a crazy guy who's loose killing kids. This is the first one, not the ones where he's like this superhuman thing.
Right.
But yeah, he's getting revenge because he was bullied. See, this is why it's not good to be a bully. So he's getting revenge on the people who bullied him, and therefore he's out killing the cool kids. So I in high school I was kind of a cool kid, I thought. So I might have been on that list. I didn't bully people, but you never know. So yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. Number 5 is The Hills Have Eyes.
All right. Well, you're number 5. My number 1. I think everyone who knows me will probably know this. You know this is coming. But I gotta go with The Shining.
Red Rum. How did I guess? Red Rum.
Directed by my boy Stanley Kubrick, the most perfect horror movie ever made. The Shining, where you
that
have
was scary. I agree with you on that.
Oh
one.
my god, The Shining is the whole idea is like the premise is like okay, they're gonna be the caretakers of this hotel. That this whole remote hotel, so you got this whole thing that's this whole big open space, and it's only 3 people in it. Okay, number 1. The number 2, what we learn later is that a grisly murder took place there. That's number 3. But it's not even just that. This place is haunted and built on an Indian burial ground. Yeah. This place is evil.
Yeah, this is...
And slowly you learn, like, the previous person, they lost their marbles, and the guy slaughtered his whole family, and the same thing is happening to Jack Torrance. He's writing, on his typewriter. He's a writer, he's a frustrated writer, who's apparently he's having trouble sleeping, so every day he's going a little bit more and more crazy. And, the hotel is basically bringing him to his breaking point where he's having these hallucinations of having drinks with ghosts, and he's telling them, well, you need to do what I think you need to show them who's boss, and you need to do what you got to do, and he drinks to that. And the thing is like the thing that gets me is like he goes into this room, and in this particular room is whatever truly horrifies you. So he goes into this room, and he sees this beautiful woman in the bathtub, and he's hypnotized by her, and he's kind of voyeuristic, and she gets out of the bathtub, and he's making out with her, and he looks in the mirror, and she's an old, decrepit, decomposing old lady.
Oh wow.
That he's making out with.
Oh wow.
And then she's like laughing at him and coming towards him. And he just is so creeped out by it. That is the scariest moment I've ever seen. And then there's so many other moments. There's the whole, here's Johnny moment where he takes an axe.
I think that's the scariest.
Oh my goodness.
Me. That is the scariest. The child actor in that movie, I wondered whether he was scarred for life, because I would have been, so as a viewer looking at that movie, it scared me shitless.
I felt for the family.
Exactly. I felt like that child, even though he was acting, I was afraid he would be scarred for life, because it was when he takes that axe and he starts saying, "Here's Johnny," and going crazy. Oh my God, that was the scariest thing for me.
That movie never gets old for me.
That's a great.
Getting chased through a maze, and the kid doesn't just get luck. He doesn't luck. He doubles back, and he lets the guy get lost in the maze, and he freezes to death, and they make it out. They barely make it to safety. That movie is so good.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Oof. Yes.
That's a great movie.
Yes. You have any honorable mentions?
I do. Let's see. On my list of honorable mentions, I have 3. The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
This is the first one where we have. Was it Carrie Fisher? Who was the
Oh
lead?
my goodness, I forget what her name is.
Yeah, where she does the neck
she
rotating.
plays Reagan.
Yeah. Her neck rotates and she's spewing.
Because that's real. That's in the Bible.
That was good. That was scary. I looked up under my bed for quite some time after seeing that. My other honorable mention, Clarice.
Oh.
Silence of the Lambs. That was scary because, again, that can be true. Like, I mean, the FBI, I'm sure, deal with people like that more often than they would like to remember. So, that was scary. There's somebody walking around who could be like that.
Yeah. And
then, last but not least, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, gotta lock your door.
Yep.
Was it better lock your door? Freddy Krueger. Yeah, the first Freddy was pretty scary with those knives, and now when you look at it, it's amazing because I'm looking at it and it's Johnny Depp was the boyfriend who gets killed in the bed. I think he might have had 3 or 4 lines.
I forgot that was him, right?
Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 lines, but it's like, oh my God, you're Johnny Depp. I wonder what he thinks about being in that movie now.
Oh, wow.
Now that he's Johnny Depp.
Wow.
So.
Okay, well, my 3 honorable mentions are Poltergeist. Poltergeist. That movie was rated PG. That movie came out before there was a PG-13 rating system, and you got the most realistic depictions of ghosts. You got this scene of this guy who's peeling his face off, and you got. I've never been so scared of a tree. I've never been so scared of a clown. Like, how you gonna have a family and have the most evil clown, and you put them right in a chair and he's looking at you? Ugh. Yeah, that's like one of those things where it's like, really?
The light, Carrie.
Oh man, that movie was so good.
Yeah.
Then I gotta go with Puppet Master. I grew up. Has a special place in my heart because, I watched that and it was so good. Like the way the puppets moved and the way they had different personalities, and eventually they kept making them and they got kind of corny with the original Puppet Master. And again, it was like you're in this whole big mansion, and you got this guy who is able to create these puppets, and they have different personalities, and amazing movie.
Okay.
And my last and definitely least I had was the first Saw. Before they got perverted, before they got really weird, the premise was great. The guy wasn't killing you; you were killing yourself for some moral thing that you'd done.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you could get out of it, but you had to do something really horrible to get out of the trap.
Right.
Love that. Love that.
You're a little demented, I think.
But it got a little too. Cheesy with the MTV editing, and but the original Saw, ain't no comparison. James Wan, that was directed by James Wan, and
really,
that was directed by James Wan. And what was cool about that was he pitched it. He originally shot like the idea on video camera. And then sent it to a studio, and the studio was like, we really like this. Could you make a script and develop it? And so from there, it organically grew into this thing, and then it became a hit movie, and then they kept making a bunch of them. That's just cool, That's buying a studio, example of a studio buying a concept, the concept working, and then it eventually becoming more and more exploited.
Yeah.
But, there you go. So
there you have it, our top
ta-da!
5+ list.
So
for scary movies this Halloween season.
Yes. So
we hope you
I'm
enjoyed
excited.
it.
Yeah, I hope you're excited. I can't wait.